So with most types of structural analysis, the first thing to do is pick the worst case scenario. I mean, the worst loaded condition, and that's really the end conditions of these, where if I zoom in here, the column or the beam over that last column is really cantilevered out, supporting all these loads coming out this way. So this beam has to carry the most amount of load. And if we pick this area, which will be that 65 foot by 65 foot area that each column is supporting, because that's the module, we'll also get the idea of what the column load of this is. So what I want to do first is give a visualization of that. So if I went to, let's say, the site, maybe not the best view, let's go to this view, level 1, where we're just seeing the column and the grid system. You can see each column is tributary load is obviously half the distance to the next support, half the distance to the next support. So this is a 65 foot by 65 foot module. And I'm going to visualize that by creating a conceptual or a generic mass. So I'll do a little model in place, and we'll pick a generic mass, generic model, should I say. And I'll do this as an extrusion, and I'll go from the corner of the grid, using my rectangle tool. And you'll notice when we stretch that out, it's 65 feet by 65 feet. And I have it set for 4 foot deep, which is fine. And let's give it a material. So what I've done is I've set that up so that we could have a load mass. So I created a new material, which you can do, and then rename it load mass. And then I gave it, and let me open up the library here. I went to the appearance palette and went down to glass, and I think I went to smooth and loaded in red glass. So that'll allow us to both see the color and be able to see the structure beneath it. So we're going to give it that. Oops, I'm sorry, I clicked out of it and I should have selected it. And so we'll complete that extrusion. And we'll go ahead and look at that from, let's say, the south elevation. And I'll just pull it up a little bit more to make it significant. And let's take a look. I'll finish the model off. I'll take a look at that in a 3D view. So now we have a visualization for ourselves of what the load condition we want to calculate is. So next I'll look at making some kind of a technical drawing sheet that will allow us to see some of the beams and elements so that we can actually help communicate this kind of calculation.